Another YouTuber who has inspired me is Kelly Stamps, because I was like really under the impression that like a Black girl on YouTube, you can't really get that many views or something. Like I was really under that impression until I saw Kelly Stamps, seeing her growth on YouTube, just seeing her like basically do whatever she wants to do.
Welcome back to African Tea. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we're continuing the Women's Month series again. Today we'll be talking to Amanda, who is a YouTuber and a film student at NYU. So we're just going to be talking about her YouTube channel and some of the videos that she has done. You might know her from her Awkward Black Girl video essay. So hope you enjoy this video.
So you are a YouTuber and you are a film student at NYU, and you're very passionate about some topics such as film, obviously, and like Black girls in entertainment and just like rich people getting into colleges, like paying and stuff. So yeah, how would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm, as you said, like a student. I'm studying film and television production, and I've been making YouTube videos for like a minute, but not very consistently. Like I think I actually posted my first YouTube video on a different channel when I was in like 6th grade, like on my iPod Touch. And ever since then, I kind of posted on and off because I was always so scared that someone from school would find my YouTube channel. So I always posted like kind of on and off through middle school and high school. I started posting a little bit more like college related content and vlogs when I got to college in like fall of 2018. But still not super consistent, but definitely ever since like the whole pandemic started like in March, I was like, now I have all this time and nothing much to do, so I definitely made it a point to try to be more consistent on YouTube and just like more creative with my video ideas, which was really fun and really cool that a lot of people seem to have been enjoying it. And then I made like this video essay a couple weeks ago, which I don't know, I never had made a video essay before, but it was just something that I just wanted to talk about, and I kind of like the idea of incorporating different media in it, so it's not just like my face the whole time. So yeah, I posted that, which was like definitely, I was like, oh, like no one is really searching for this topic, so I didn't really feel like it would get that many views, but it definitely got way more views than my other videos, and a lot of people said they really liked the video essay format. So I made one a week later about like why are rich people obsessed with getting into elite colleges, which that one was fun to make because it was kind of incorporating such a, well, at least in America, it was a pretty popular pop culture moment whenever the whole college admissions scandal came out. So it was interesting to talk about that, and I definitely got some interesting responses from that one as well, and it's cool to hear other people's perspective, especially because I didn't really realize this, but I was looking at my like YouTube analytics, and basically half of my viewers are not from the United States, which is like actually pretty crazy to me because I mean, like I've barely been outside of the United States, so I'm like, whoa, people are like actually watching me like from here.
Yeah, a lot of people sent me the mainly the awkward Black girl video. Like 5 different people sent it to me, and I was like, okay, I'll watch.
Oh, really? Wow, that's crazy.
I was like, what's the big deal? But it was a really great.
That's so crazy. That's cool.
So how did you think of doing the video? Did it just like come out of nowhere, the idea, or was it just from observing media that you decided, okay, let me just make a video about this?
Yeah, so I like just have this notebook where I try to like brainstorm video ideas, and lately I've just wanted to make videos, like just really wanting to make things that I want to see. And I noticed something that like when I searched it, like there wasn't really anything like that, so I was like, you know what, let me make it. So yeah, that was kind of like the inspiration for it, and I definitely had to like do some research about like the previous, because I kind of knew of like Black women have always had these kind of limiting archetypes about them in the media.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely had to do a little bit more research into them. And yeah, and just because like a lot of those shows I put in that video, like I watch them and I love them, like especially like Insecure is one. Oh, I love Insecure. I love Chewing Gum. Those are some of my favorite shows. So I just like feel like they are, pretty contemporary shows. So, there's not maybe that much scholarship about like the quirky black girl, the awkward black girl, whatever you want to call her. There's not that much like scholarship surrounding it. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about it and start a discussion. And I just think it's really cool that we're starting to get these really full-dimensional Black woman characters that don't have to be, confined to very like stereotypical roles, which is awesome.
Yeah. In terms of like other awkward Black girls, do you feel like most of these characters are represented by lighter skinned Black women?
Yeah, that's definitely something to note. Yeah, for sure. I think I want to say besides Issa Rae and Michaela Cole in those videos, I think a lot of those other girls in the video were Black and mixed with another race. So yeah, I definitely have noticed that. Like it's definitely not lost upon me, and I get really excited when I see a young dark-skinned girl in media. And like I mean young because I feel like young dark-skinned girls are not very casted at the rate as like young light-skinned girls are. Like even still, like when you get older, it's still not as many dark-skinned women, but like especially for young, I don't know why like people associate being young with like being light-skinned. Like that's something I've kind of noticed. So I get really excited when I see an actor like who has nice skin complexion or a darker skin complexion and who's younger and like teen or kid age. It really excites me. So I definitely think Hollywood, whoever's casting, needs to do a better job on that. And I remember even I made a short film last semester, and I just found like the cutest young dark skinned girl ever. She was like 6 or 7 years old, and she was just so cute and an amazing actor. And I just loved the fact that I could cast someone who actually looked like me. It was so amazing.
Yeah, it's really. I think Lovely Simone is one
Oh yeah,
dark-skinned actress that I'd like to see in more films and media. Like I saw in Selena Space, and she was really great in that, as well as Greenleaf.
Yeah, I've never seen Greenleaf. I have to watch that. Yeah, she's so beautiful though. Yeah, for
She
sure.
is. You were saying that casting directors need to cast more darker skinned people or like Black women. Do you think it's don't you think it's more on us Black people to like create our own platforms in order to do this? Because I heard that even with Black Panther, the people that made it didn't really make it for the benefit of Black people, only because they knew that Black people would bring in more money if they made the movie. So like the heart wasn't really, well, it's what I heard. I'm not sure if it's true.
Wow.
But like I feel like we as Black people should, even though like we are less privileged, but with what we have, we should try to create our own platforms in order to have more representation from a good heart instead of just for the money. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that with Black Panther, but it doesn't surprise me. It was like a huge, Marvel franchise. A lot of money went into it, so obviously white people were probably involved. But yeah, so I totally think that is important. Like people of color, Black people creating their own stuff, because like it's like you don't see yourself, so like the only other option is just to like make it. Yeah, I totally think that's so true and so important, and I feel like people are starting to do that more these days. I definitely still think that like white people can still make an effort and like like use their privilege in a better way. And I've definitely seen some people do that. But yeah, for sure, I think definitely on both sides. And I mean, it's really, the sad thing is like even sometimes like even sometimes like Black people making their own thing isn't enough, because like white people do have control of like basically all like the major networks and streaming services and stuff.
Yeah.
So, there's still that power dynamic, but definitely making your own stuff, it's totally a start for sure. Like, Issa Rae is one of my biggest inspirations, and she started out with her web series on YouTube, and now she's on HBO. So
yeah, it's definitely a long way to go still, but I feel like we are slowly making progress. And you chose to study film. Do you want to be a director or an actor, or what's the end goal?
Yeah, I think I'm more into like writing and producing mostly. I'm probably going still to direct more stuff in the future, because it's, where I am, like you kind of write something, like if you're not very established, it's kind of hard to find a director. So I definitely directing, it's like, I think my favorite thing is like writing, producing, and then directing. Because directing is definitely very stressful, because you just have such a limited amount of time, and like it's like all eyes are on you. But yeah, I definitely will be doing more of it in the future, hopefully directing another short film in the springtime.
Okay. And you as a director, or like whatever avenue of film you want to go into, what do you want your main purpose to be, or what type of impact do you want to make through your work?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think mostly in terms of impact, well, first of all, I do really want to be able to, like, even when creating a project, I want to be able to empower other people, especially people who don't really get the chance to like do this kind of stuff. So like being mindful of like the crew, and like definitely like choosing people who like maybe they don't have the most experience in the world, but they really want to learn, because I've definitely been on the other side of that, where I'm like, I literally really don't have like the experience or qualifications to like do this position, but sometimes people will still let me do it, and I get to learn a lot from it, especially like being a student. I think that's really important. So definitely just like empowering other people to learn on a set. And then audience wise, I definitely, I just think it's really like cool, like the whole thing of representation at its core, just being able to see someone who looks like you on a screen doing something that maybe you never thought that you could do, or that you don't really see often, is really cool. Because I've also gotten like comments like in the YouTube on YouTube that like they say, or messages that like they say they're really inspired by seeing like someone who looks like them like doing things that like maybe just aren't as common, like it's just not, maybe not even as common, but just it's not as like as broadcast, like you don't just get to see it as much. So that has been really cool. So really just like the representation aspect helps a lot. And I think even because it's helped me so much too, like even another YouTuber who has inspired me is Kelly Stamps. Yeah, I really like her videos. And it's like, because I was like really under the impression that like being like a Black girl on YouTube, you can't really, I don't know, you can't like really get that many views or something. Like I was really under that impression until I
also
like,
that sometimes you feel like the only type of content you can do is like natural hair content.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the impression I had, like really until I saw Kelly Stamps, which is like crazy. But so she's inspired me so much, like in the past few months, just like seeing her growth on YouTube, and like just seeing her like basically do whatever she wants to do. It's super empowering to see that. So definitely just like really being able like to, in the simplest form of like representation, and like that it can really do wonders for young people and young Black women looking at that.
Yeah, and she also had a video where she said that well, people say that she acts like a white girl or like something along those lines. And then she's like, that thought itself is racist in that you're confining black girls to one stereotype. And I found that really, like, I never thought about that. So I found that really empowering. And then also in terms of representation, I was discussing the other day with someone that representation is important, not only that you're able to see yourself, but also in that other places where there aren't many black people, they get to see how black people are just living normal lives as opposed to seeing them as a threat or criminals and all of that. So I think representation is also very important in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's different because sometimes I do get comments from people who are from countries that it's like actually primarily black people. You're not black, you're just a person,
Yeah.
Like in America, you're not, I mean, you are white, but it's like it doesn't, the experience is different,
Yeah.
You are the majority, and no matter what it is, like you don't necessarily feel like race is something that defines you.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely here in America, like the way race has really been built into like such a rigid power structure, like it really does. So, it's interesting to get comments from people who are like they live in a country where it's primarily black, and they're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this is like not anything special, like this is just what I am, this is what I do. And I'm like, that's cool, but it's like it's different in America when you're the minority and when you've been confined to such harsh stereotypes for a while.
And then in terms of films, what do you look for in the film? Like what draws you to a film?
Yeah, I would say I have like a picky taste, but honestly, I just have a short attention span. But so I think the films that I like the most, they're usually like a combination of two genres. A lot of them are, a lot of them tend to be like dark comedies, I would say, or like, because like I'm thinking like some of my favorite films, like even Get Out. Like Get Out is like a thriller, but it's also quite funny.
Yeah.
I love Parasite, and Parasite is like a black comedy. Like it's so funny, but it's like so yeah, I love Parasite. So yeah, like literally I think I've noticed with a lot of the movies I like, they definitely combine two genres. It's usually like a dark comedy. Um and yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's like that's one of the main things that I've noticed that I really like. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very well written. Like since it's like kind of in the horror genre, I don't watch horror at all, but like I really enjoyed Get Out. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the video. Is there any other thing you want to discuss?
I think that's it. Just thank you for interviewing me though and sharing me on your
Thank
podcast. So cool.
Thank you for making the time to come to the interview. I really appreciate it. It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought and comment below some of your opinions on the topics that we discussed, and see you in the next video.